back to the Hot Girls Learn Hockey podcast. My name is Sarah. If you're new here, this is the show where we talk about all things hockey, the what to knows, the who to knows, and everything in between. And the men are still pissing me off. So not all of them, but just like some of them. So today's episode is going to be another one for our girlies. None other than my Captain America, Miss Hilary Knight. But before we get into today's episode, I just want to do some housekeeping, just some catching up since it's been a while since we've talked. I went to probably the best NHL game that I have been to since I've started going to NHL games. I, along with my lovely boyfriend, went to go see on, I believe it was March 2nd or 3rd. I can't remember what actual date it was, but it was when the Sharks played the Montreal Canadiens in SAP in San Jose, and we got glass seats. It was the first time I've ever sat glass, which is like shocking to me. Like, I've sat behind the players bench, I've sat like 3rd row, 2nd row, 7th row, like I've sat in a lot of different places, but I've never sat glass before. Neither has my boyfriend, and so we were super fucking excited to watch it for this game. Is because we've always wanted to see the Canadiens. It's because we love Nick Suzuki, we love Lane Hudson, we love Cole Caulfield, we just love the team. And so it was our first time sitting glass, which is incredible. Oh my gosh, if you are ever in this situation, like financially, where you can splurge on glass seats, like, yeah, you're gonna have to be turning your neck and your head to see what's happening, like especially on the far side of the ice. But man, is it such a cool fucking experience. And also, I don't know if this is the same thing in every arena that hosts an NHL team, but at least at SAP Center, if you sit glass, you get like an all-you-can-eat food and beverage included. And that room, I'll be honest, if the game was like a snooze fest, I feel like I would have spent the entire time in the big like buffet room, because there was so much food, so much drinks, like alcoholic and non-alcoholic, and it was all free with, you know, obviously you paid for the seats, but it was free to you. You just went up and you just grabbed it. I had some braised short rib risotto, they had tacos, I had popcorn, we had like a prosciutto sandwich. It was like so good. It was absolutely delicious, and I definitely ate my worth of however much the tickets were. I really don't remember, but it was incredible. The game itself was incredible. If you watched those highlights, it was insane. The score was 7-5. Sharks won, which is also great because my boyfriend's never seen the Sharks actually win at any of the games that he's gone to, so love that. There were a ton of, not like full on fist fights, but there were a ton of fights. I don't know what everyone was on the ice from either team, but yeah, it was absolutely incredible. I actually I hope that I don't get copyright claimed by the NHL. I'm just a girl, please just let me have this one thing. But I'm gonna insert a clip for my video viewers. It's a clip right after Michael Misa's goal for that game, and they were celebrating right in front of us, and I'm wearing my Will Smith jersey, and he's wearing this like kind of like taupe gray brownish sweatshirt next to me, my boyfriend that is, and we were celebrating because they were celebrating right in front of us, like on the other side of the glass obviously, but we were like banging on the glass. I don't think I have them anymore, but I did have bruises because I was banging with my like forearms. I was banging pretty fucking hard, because then also there was another fight that happened in front of us. Like I like am looking down at my phone, and then I look up and Vinny is just right in front of me, and he's getting like in a chokehold by I don't even know who, another Montreal player. It was great. It was incredible. It was fucking, oh my gosh, it was the best game I've ever gone to so far. It was so good. But yeah, on that note though, don't think Sharks gonna make the playoffs this year, but I'm hoping that we can maybe secure Gavin McKenna for next season, or at least just in like the draft or this year's draft. I don't think we will, especially if they do the lottery again. And yeah, but I don't think Sharks going to make it to playoffs. Really think it's the Avs year. Avalanche, that is. Colorado, that is. I want those boys to take home that cup. I really fucking do. Ugh, love them. But yeah, so that's enough housekeeping from me, at least on the hockey side and the personal side. So let's just get into today's episode, all about, love her, Hilary Knight. I don't have the Sharks cup, but I have this really pretty green one that I got from my work as a appreciation of me being an employee. So I do have a fun little seltzer in here. I did not do a black cherry one. I did a lime. So love that for me. Yeah, grab a little drink, fun drink or a non-fun drink, grab a little snack, and let's just get into today's episode. Cheers. Miss Hilary Atwood Knight was born on July 12th of 1989 in Palo Alto, California, here in the States, which, not to give away my location, but it's a good, only 3 hours away from where I currently live. So that's crazy that she was born there. She didn't grow up there because when she was 5 years old, her family relocated to Illinois. But it is just kind of interesting seeing players coming from Southern California or kind of the Bay. I don't know. Is Palo Alto considered the Bay? I don't know. But seeing players come from this area, off topic, and I will get back on topic. Did you know that Dustin Wolf is from Gilroy, California? If you don't know who Dustin Wolf is, he's a goaltender for the Calgary Flames. At least I think he still is. Don't quote me on that. At least he was last season. But he was one of the finalists for the Calder trophy. So that's very interesting. I didn't even know there were people out in Gilroy, if I'm being honest with you. If you know anything about Gilroy, California, you know it's known for its garlic. And that's about it. But yeah, I just thought that was very interesting. Anyway, okay, back on topic. So she was born in Palo Alto, but like I mentioned, she or her family relocated to Illinois when she was 5 years old, and that is actually where she began playing hockey, like peewee hockey, and she would play on the boys teams in the area. And literally from the very beginning of her kind of discovering her love of hockey and that she, was pretty, good at it, she had one major goal that she wanted to accomplish that she told everyone. She told her grandmother. She made a book in the 2nd grade about it, but she wanted to get to the Winter Olympics for women's ice hockey. That was her main goal. At the time of this all happening, women's ice hockey was not in the Winter Olympics, but she had her mindset, and she obviously would go on to accomplish that. But I'm getting too ahead of myself. Let's just go back to her high school days. So she would play hockey, obviously, when she was little, and then in middle school, and then in high school, she would go on to attend the, I hope I'm saying this right, Choate, it's CHOATE Rosemary Hall, which is a private boarding school in Wallingford, Connecticut. I guess JFK also went there too. I mean, at least that was what I saw from when I was doing my research on that place. But they are also, they're known for being a really good boarding school, also known for a couple other things. But they are known in this case for their renowned women's ice hockey program, which she would play in her time at the school. And then once she graduated high school, then she would enroll at the University of Wisconsin, where she would also play in their women's ice hockey program for their team, the Wisconsin Badgers. And in her freshman season, which was the 2007 to 2008 season, she would rank 2nd on her team in goals and would rank 7th in the country in goals. And that's just in her freshman season. She would continue playing for this team throughout her college career until 2012, and she would break lots of records along the way, but two that I thought were of note was that she led the NCAA in goal scoring in her sophomore year, and then she became the Badgers' all-time leading scorer in 2011. And then after her college career ended, she did end up getting drafted by the CWHL, which, if you don't remember from last week's, or I guess the last episode, that is the Canadian Women's Hockey League. She was drafted by the Boston Blades in the 2012 CWHL draft, and in her rookie season, which was the 2012 to 2013, she would help lead her team to win both the regular season championships for the league as well as the 2013 Clarkson Cup. And the Clarkson Cup, if you don't remember, is it's like known as like the women's version of the Stanley Cup, at least at this point in time, which if you watched the last episode or listened to it, you would know how the CWHL kind of ends. Again, getting ahead of myself. Let's just continue on. So she would continue to fucking slay in playing in the CWHL, and in her final season with the league, at least at this point, she would lead her team to another Clarkson Cup win in the 2015 Clarkson Cup. She would also, during her time with the Boston Blades, become the first female skater who was not a goalie to practice with an NHL team when she practiced with the Anaheim Ducks during their 2014-2015 season. So love that. Love it. So she would go on to leave the CWHL in 2015 when she went and joined the NWHL, which was the National Women's Hockey League, and she would end up going to play for the Boston Pride. So same area, she still played for Boston, it's just in a different league now, and she would play in this league, the NWHL's inaugural season. And just like we all know, she's fucking killing it. She led her team, the Boston Pride, to win the very first Isabel Cup, which is, their version of their championship. But she wouldn't play in the NWHL for very long, because then in 2018 is when she would actually go back to the CWHL, and she wouldn't go back to play for Boston like she did prior. She would actually go and sign on to the, oh my gosh, it's the French words again, Les Canadiens de Montreal, with our other baddie, who I talked about in the last episode, Marie-Philippe Poulin. Again, if I'm saying her name wrong, I'm so fucking sorry. It's just how I've seen people say her name, and now it's stuck in my head. But she would play on this team with Marie-Philippe in their 2018 and 2019 season. And obviously, we know what happened to the CWHL. After this season, it would end up collapsing. And just like Marie-Philippe, Hilary would go on to also be one of the many women players to go and establish the PWHPA, which, if you don't remember from last episode, is the Professional Women's Hockey Players Association. So I go over a little bit more what this is in the last episode, but it's just like a players union to help with expanding and protecting women's ice hockey on a professional level. Now, this leads us into 2023 when the PWHL was established. I do have an episode on that as well if you want to learn a little bit more about the PWHL. But in this very first season, Hilary was named captain of Boston's PWHL team, which at this time didn't really have a name. It was just called PWHL Boston, but later it'd be named the Boston Fleet. And she would lead her team to the very first Walter Cup finals. Walter Cup is their championship, but they would lose to the Minnesota Frost. And she was playing extremely well in the 2 seasons that she was with Boston's PWHL team. And a lot of people were very surprised about this, but she would only play 2 seasons with the team in Boston because of the expansion draft in 2025. So PWHL started with a certain amount of teams, and then they added, I believe it was 2 more. I think it was Vancouver. No, was it Vancouver's? It was Seattle's and then another one. Oh gosh, I do too much research, guys. I can't hold all this information in my noggin. But anyway, last year, PWHL added either 2 or 3 teams. I know for sure there was 2. Might have been 3. But in this expansion draft for the PWHL, Hilary was not protected by Boston, which left her vulnerable and left her to be swiped up by one of the newest PWHL teams, the Seattle Torrents, which is what leads us to her current day playing. So she was signed to a 1-year contract for the Seattle Torrents, and she would also be named captain of this team in their very first season. Right now, Seattle is her current team, although she is on a injury reserve right now because of injuries that she obtained during this past Olympics, the 2026 Winter Olympics, which leads us to her many many, 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 many medals that she has won during her various international tournaments. So Hilary is from the States, so she always represents Team USA in these. And just like Marie-Philippe, I would be here all fucking day if I named off every single championship she's won. So I'm going to just go on and do the Winter Olympics and the Women's Worlds ones that she's won. She's won way more at Women's Worlds. So I'm just going to give the amount of medals that she's won for that one. But for the Winter Olympics, I'll go through and just, I'll give a little bit more of a breakdown for that one. So in 2010, she won silver. 2014, won silver. 2018, won gold. 2022, won silver. And obviously, in this year's Winter Olympics, in 2026, she led Team USA to win gold. We fucking love it. We love Hilary Knight. And she also, during these Olympics, proposed to her then girlfriend, I guess now fiance, Brittany Bowe. So she is a USA speed skater. So we got two Olympian baddies. And yeah, Hilary proposed to her during the Winter Olympics. I think it was like after they had already won gold, if I'm remembering correctly. I can't really remember exactly it was. I just know it was during the Olympics. But so she is currently engaged to Brittany Bowe. And then as for her women's worlds, she has won 10 gold medals and 5 silver. This woman, I should say, she's older than me. She is insane. So she is known pretty much as the quote unquote face of women's hockey, at least in the States. She, in this current, press run of this year's Winter Olympics, has, done Jimmy Fallon. She was on SNL, along with the men too. But she was on the episode that was hosted by Pookie. I love him so much. Connor's Story. I love him. But yeah, she's doing her press run right now and she's fucking killing it. She's been killing it. Oh my gosh. Like, you can't tell her shit because she has an extensive amount of gold medals to rub in your face. And then as for her playing style, kind of just how she, is as a player, what she's known for and stuff. She said that she would watch a lot of how NHL players would play, like their footwork, their stick handling. She did a lot of that growing up, and so she would kind of just watch that and then try to imitate / hone those skills herself, which led her to become the great player that she is today. What I also read was that she's also known for not doing too much like flashy playing, like doing lots of like trick shots and everything. She's really known for prioritizing scoring over the flashiness of anything, and also known for always being right in front of the fucking crease, right in the crease, whenever her team is over on the opposing team side. And yeah, that is it for today's episode. Hopefully this one's a little bit longer. I'm sorry that they've been so short. It's just that, oh my gosh, even with changing my upload schedule, my work schedule, I feel like just got even more, hectic. But again, I do love doing these episodes. I love doing the research on them and filming them. Editing them is like, I don't know, whatever. But and even more so, I do love watching or reading the reactions of people who decide to indulge in my content. But yeah, that is it for today's episode. I don't know what the next one will be. I hopefully at one point will put up a poll on Instagram. But yeah, that is it. If you're watching this on YouTube, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It does help out a lot. If you're listening to this on Spotify, please make sure to give the show a good rating. You can also follow the show's Instagram page. It is at Hot Girls Learn Hockey, or the show's TikTok page, which is at HGLH Pod. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.